Hey, here's 5 perspective tricks to spark your own editing creativity. They get better. So this trick is just a combination of some simple masking and some forced perspective. So the shots you need are 1, you walking out through the door. Second shot, I just built this green screen platform for this little mini folding chair that I have. And I set that right up so that the edge of the green screen is at the edge of the door. And then I start this shot so that I can stitch it together with the first shot. And then the third shot is just for the reflection. You actually use a folding chair, lift that up so you get the reflection in the TV. All right, so in After Effects and using a clean plate, you're gonna key out your green screen with the chair. You're just gonna mask around that door. And then you're gonna use that keyed out chair in the beginning of the shot too. And then you have the little details that are gonna sell the effect, like walking in front of the chair at the beginning of the shot, you rotoscope so that gives some depth in front of the chair. Then you time up the reflection shot and you mask that into the TV. And then because you're adding that as a top layer, you have to rotoscope yourself back in on top of it, as well as your reflection over it, so that it all looks seamless. So I'm practicing these perspective painting tricks where the painting only looks like the object from a certain angle. Let's see if it worked. Not bad. I think it could use a little bit more work though. So for this shot, you're setting up your tripod for 2 different spots. You're gonna move it into the second spot and then you're gonna move it back into the first spot. Then what you want to do in After Effects is first 3D track your shot. This will allow you to set up a blank solid that will track as a plane along the floor. And this technique is called projection mapping, and what it's going to do is it's going to take a freeze frame of the bag in its front position, and it's essentially going to project that image onto that white plane, so that as the camera moves, it's just gonna track along the floor. It basically makes it become those perspective paintings that you see people create that you can only view from one angle. And then add in the little details that are gonna sell it a little better, like you can animate a little bit of the concrete texture on top to make it look more like a painting. And in the beginning, you can rotoscope your hand and brush on top to really give it that depth and make it look like it is a part of the floor, like it's a painting. You can add a little shadow too. So I'm practicing these perspective painting tricks where the painting only looks like the object from a certain angle. Let's see if it worked. Not bad. I think it could use a little bit more work though. So the first shot, you're gonna act out like you're about to fall off a big drop. Second shot, you just have some poster board with some tracking markers on it. You're gonna line it up with the edge of the concrete and then walk it back. Then in After Effects, I use the third-party program Mocha AE that comes with After Effects. And what this is gonna do is gonna allow you to track the perspective of the poster board as it moves back. Then once we're done tracking, we're gonna build out the actual picture that's going to attach to the poster board. So I first found a concrete texture and I just lined it up with the concrete in my backyard. Then I actually took the yard and the stones and I masked around the stones, and then I moved the position down so it's at the very bottom of the frame. But this is the fun place where you can use your imagination. If you're good with Photoshop or building out a picture in After Effects, you could use a cliff. I didn't use this because I couldn't get it to look quite real enough. But you can create whatever you want. Now we take this picture at the bottom of the frame, we group it all together, and then we apply the tracking data from Mocha so that it sticks right to the poster board, creating somewhat of a digital matte painting. And the last thing is just throw a simple mask in the middle of the frame to separate the two shots. And just for fun, this is what it would have looked like with the cliff instead. Mind? Thank you.
And that's the big difference with the TPS reports and the TPC reports. Oh, Skylar, I can see you're paying real close attention. Thank you.
So for the first shot, I just set up a tripod and stared attentively. So for the second shot, I've got this poster board with some tracking markers that I attached to a headband. I put that headband on, trying to move as little as possible. Just like in the last one, we're going to use Mocha AE to track the perspective of the poster board as the camera tracks around. Then we're going to take the first shot and we're actually going to mask around just the shape of the poster board. And if your body moved a little bit from the first shot to the second, that's okay. That's when you can use the puppet pin tool to kind of get your body back into one shape. Next thing I did was I animated a little bit of the CC threads effect to actually come into play as the camera starts to pan. This was meant to make it look a little bit more like it was maybe printed onto the poster board. Then finally, I apply the tracking data from Mocha onto that freeze frame, add an extra corner pin just to make my own adjustments if need be, and you've got the shot. Saving the easiest one for the last one because this is really just one shot where you're acting out this kind of escape, and all you really have to do is jump the height of the perspective of your fence. So try to make the perspective of the fence as low as possible when you're setting up the shot, and then you're just diving into your own grass. Now in After Effects, you're just duplicating the shot, and then you're just going to draw a mask around the fence in the area that you're diving over it. What you can do here is draw a bunch of little masks and subtract them out from the larger mask, and that will create the kind of holes in the fence that make it look real so that you can see a little bit through it as you're running past it. And that's it. And you can use it for other types of perspective tricks like jumping over the fence. That's it. That's the 5 perspective tricks. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something from it. I know these kind of videos are becoming more common on the internet, so everybody probably already knows the secrets at this point, but if you got something out of this, just let me know. Comment on the video, give it a like. It definitely helps me understand if I should keep making these kind of videos. So, all right, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.